Can I ask you a straight question? When was the last time you woke up, stretched out in bed, and felt ready to take on the day without wincing or feeling drained? No sore back, no heavy head, no shuffling to the kitchen hoping coffee would fix everything. If you're like most of the men I see, it's probably been a while. I remember a man named Tom, 68, who sat right across from me and sighed, "Doc, I don't know where that guy went. I used to work sunup to sundown on the ranch, then still have the energy to wrestle with my grandkids. Now I get winded climbing the porch steps." You could see the sadness on his face, because it's tough admitting when you feel like a smaller version of who you used to be. But let me plant a hopeful seed. What if your best days weren't locked away in the past? What if some of that strength and spark was still waiting inside you, and all you needed were the right building blocks? No fancy pills. No big medical bills. Just simple changes you can start today. Stay with me, because over the next little while, I'm going to show you 8 ordinary fruits that research, real research, not magazine gossip, says can help recharge your energy, clear up your blood flow, even help with those private moments with your partner. And none of this is guesswork. We're talking big studies on thousands of men that tracked them over decades. So if you've ever caught yourself wondering, is this just how it ends up for me, worn out and slowing down? I want to gently push back on that. Because I've seen enough men turn things around to know it's never too late. Let's keep going. Up next, I want to share a few simple stories about real men who proved it's possible. Let me throw something at you. Have you started telling yourself that slowing down is just part of the deal? That once you're past 60, your best days are done? You're not alone. I've had plenty of men shrug and say, "Doc, what do you expect? I'm old." But the truth is, it doesn't have to be that way. I want you to meet Carl. 73, a retired engineer. He spent his life keeping electrical lines running smooth but didn't pay much mind to his own systems until everything started feeling sluggish. In just 2 weeks of adding certain fruits to his meals, his testosterone jumped nearly a quarter. That's the kind of boost guys usually only see after months of heavy lifting or pricey treatments. Then there's Jorge, 68. He thought he was stuck taking afternoon naps forever, then started putting in 5 miles on foot each morning. His face lit up telling me about chasing his grandkids around the park again. Or Leonard, 71, who was embarrassed to admit his private life with his wife was slipping. 3 months of the right foods, and his doctor was so shocked by his improved blood flow he asked what new meds Leonard was on. The answer was simpler than that. Just smarter eating. What all these men had in common was they didn't accept that the slide was inevitable. They gave their bodies what years of research say can truly rebuild a man's strength from the inside out. So let me ask you this. If they could do it, why not you? Why not now? Up next, I'll spell out exactly what these guys added to their daily plates that helped them turn back the clock. Can I level with you for a moment? Too many men your age get half-truths or scare tactics about their health. Then they wind up spending a fortune chasing things that don't last. Today, I want to give you something real. A way to take the wheel again. By the time we're through, you'll have a clear list of 8 fruits you can pick up at any store that research shows support testosterone, keep your blood moving right, and lift your energy. This isn't fluff. These are findings from serious studies tracking thousands of guys over many years, published in journals that doctors like me actually read and use. Martin, 67, was the type who rolled his eyes at anything called a superfood. He figured most of it was marketing nonsense. But when I showed him study after study from respected universities, something changed. Later he said, "Doc, for the first time, I believe I can fix this without loading my bathroom cabinet with bottles." I want you to have that same calm confidence. Because once you know exactly what to eat and why it matters, you're not guessing anymore. You're taking solid steps to help your body build itself back. It all comes down to this: you can sit by and let time keep chipping away at you, or you can give your body the tools it needs to push back. The choice is yours. Next, I'll show you why this isn't just wishful thinking. It's grounded in some of the best science we've got. Let's keep going. Let me ask you something straight. How many times have you heard about the next big miracle food or fancy new powder that's supposed to change everything? It's no wonder most guys your age are skeptical. You've lived long enough to see a lot of hype come and go. That's why I want to be clear. What we're talking about here isn't pulled from a tabloid or the latest online craze. It comes from careful studies that track thousands of men over years, even decades. Real science, published in respected medical journals, reviewed by other doctors. That matters. I think about Frank, 72, a retired coach who spent decades pushing young athletes to take care of their bodies. But after he hung up his whistle, his own habits slipped. He tried some pricey internet powders a buddy recommended. 2 months later, he was lighter in the wallet but nothing else had changed. When he finally sat down with me, we walked through plain evidence on how certain fruits could lower inflammation, improve circulation, and help support testosterone naturally. Frank said it felt like someone had finally handed him a roadmap he could trust. 3 months later, he was back on local fields helping kids practice, looking and feeling like he'd rolled the calendar back. See, these aren't just nice theories. They're stories of men who saw real changes, steadier energy, better moods, stronger blood flow, even feeling close again with their wives, all by giving their bodies what they actually needed. There's a saying I often share. Facts might be quiet, but they're stubborn. And the facts here tell us you can absolutely help your body reclaim some of what time has worn down, if you feed it right. Now let's dig into the very first fruit that stands head and shoulders above the rest. I call it the king for a reason. Stick with me. Can I tell you about the fruit I wish every man over 65 would start eating today? It's pomegranate. No exaggeration, it's the best backed by science choice you have for naturally supporting testosterone and better blood flow. I had a patient named Louis, 74, who came in mostly because his wife insisted. He figured feeling worn out was just his new normal. Needed 3 coffees to get through the morning, blood pressure slowly climbing. I suggested he try a daily glass of pure pomegranate juice. He laughed and said, "Doc, fruit juice isn't fixing this." But he agreed to try. 2 weeks later, he walked back in with more spring in his step and said he finally tackled clearing out his shed, something he'd put off for over a year. Turns out Louis wasn't alone. In a study from Queen Margaret University, 60 adults drank pomegranate juice every day for 2 weeks. Their testosterone jumped an average of 24%. That's a big deal. Results like that usually take strict workouts or expensive hormone clinics. Their blood pressure also came down, they reported brighter moods, and many said they just felt more driven. Even better, a newer study looked at older men with mild struggles in the bedroom. After 12 weeks on pomegranate extract, they reported real improvements in desire and performance. No prescriptions needed. Here's why it works. Pomegranates are loaded with special compounds that clear out the little bits of damage and stress, slowing down your testosterone and tightening up your blood vessels. Try for 8 ounces of pure pomegranate juice a day, not some sugary cocktail blend. Or eat half to 1 whole fruit. When they're in season, buy extra, pop out the seeds, and freeze them. Or try a tablespoon of concentrate stirred into water. It's simple, and it pays off. Next, we're moving on to a tiny berry that's even more powerful than it looks. Let's check it out. Have you ever looked at a handful of blueberries and thought, these little things could help my heart, brain, and even the bedroom? Most guys never imagine it. But blueberries are like nature's tiny powerhouse, doing more for you than almost any snack on the shelf. I remember Harold, 69, who used to walk mail routes all day. After retiring, he slowed down more than he liked. Yard work left him drained, and he started forgetting little things that once came easy. I told him to start eating a cup of blueberries every day, frozen or fresh, didn't matter. 6 weeks later, he came back smiling, saying it felt like someone flipped the lights back on in his head. More energy, clearer thinking, and with a sheepish grin, he hinted that things were better with his wife, too. The science is solid. Harvard researchers followed over 25,000 men for 28 years. Those who regularly ate berries had far fewer problems with blood flow, especially in intimate situations. And men over 65 saw the biggest benefit. It all comes down to special compounds called anthocyanins. They help your blood vessels stay relaxed and open, sending oxygen everywhere it needs to go. That means your brain stays sharper, your muscles tire less, and yes, the parts of you that matter most work better, too. Blueberries also bring vitamin C, manganese, and a neat little compound called pterostilbene that helps keep cholesterol in check. So make it easy. Aim for a cup a day. Fresh, frozen, mixed into yogurt or oatmeal, tossed into a smoothie, or just eaten by the handful. Keep a bag of frozen ones in your freezer so there's never an excuse. Coming up, we're going to look at a fruit that's big, juicy, and might be nature's best answer for keeping your blood flowing strong right where you need it. Let's keep going. Can I tell you something most folks have never heard? A simple slice of watermelon might do more for your blood flow than some of those little blue pills. Sounds wild, right? But the science behind it is rock solid. Stan, 70, a retired mechanic, came in looking embarrassed. Things weren't working like they used to with his wife. He wanted to avoid medication if possible. I explained how watermelon is packed with citrulline, which your body turns into something that helps blood vessels open up. Same basic process as those well-known pills, just coming straight from food. Stan agreed to try it. 6 weeks later, he walked in with a big grin and said, "Doc, I had to dust off some old love songs. That told me all I needed." Research backs this up. In Italy, scientists gave men with mild bedroom issues the same amount of citrulline you'd get from 1 or 2 cups of watermelon. After just a month, half of them went from struggling to normal. That's a huge shift. It's not only about intimacy. The nitric oxide your body makes from watermelon helps your heart, keeps your blood pressure stable, and even makes exercise feel easier. Don't skip the rind. That white part most people throw out actually holds even more citrulline. Try blending it into a smoothie with some mint or lime, or slice it thin for salads. You can even pickle it. Aim for about 1 to 2 cups a day. It's an easy habit that pays off in ways most men never expect. Next, we'll get into some fruits you probably only think of for colds, but they're doing heavy work keeping your testosterone and circulation right where they need to be. Let's keep moving. Let me ask you something simple. When you peel an orange or squeeze a lemon into your water, do you ever stop and think, this could be helping my testosterone and heart right now? Most guys don't. They figure citrus is just for vitamin C and maybe keeping sniffles away. But there's a lot more going on. Jerry, 68, drove a city bus for years. After he retired, he started nodding off in his chair by lunch, snapping at his wife, feeling drained most afternoons. We kept it simple. He added citrus every day, like an orange in the morning and grapefruit slices later on. 3 months later, he was surprised by how steady his energy felt. Even told me he and his wife were taking evening walks again, something they hadn't done in ages. Citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes aren't just rich in vitamin C. They've also got powerful plant compounds called flavonoids that keep your arteries flexible and fight off tiny bits of inflammation inside your blood vessels. That means steadier blood flow and less strain on your heart. Studies out of Harvard followed thousands of men for decades and found that those who ate citrus regularly had a 19% lower chance of dealing with circulation problems in the bedroom. Another study showed that older men who bumped up their citrus intake had arteries acting nearly 10 years younger after just a couple of months. Vitamin C itself is important for more than your immune system. Your body needs it to make testosterone. Men who get more C tend to have healthier levels and better quality sperm. It's easy to start. Try to work in 1 or 2 whole citrus fruits each day. Have an orange with breakfast. Squeeze lemon into your water through the afternoon. If you like grapefruit, have it as a snack. Just check with your doctor first if you're on certain medications, since grapefruit can change how some drugs break down in your body. Think of citrus as one of the simplest, cheapest ways to keep your arteries young and your energy more stable. Up next, we'll dive into a small fruit that's hiding one of the most talked about compounds for aging well. Let's take a look. When you pop a handful of red grapes in your mouth, you probably just think of the sweet burst of flavor. But inside that little grape is something that's been studied all over the world for keeping hearts strong and bodies aging better: resveratrol. Dennis, 71, delivered mail for decades, walking miles every day. But after retiring, he found himself winded just climbing the stairs at home. His wife gently pushed him to see me because he was also more irritable, tired, not himself. We started with a simple change: a cup of red grapes daily. 3 months later, Dennis was bounding up those same stairs, feeling sharper, lighter, and told me his wife was happier too. Resveratrol is the big reason. It's the same compound that gives red wine its reputation, but you get just as much, often more, from eating the grape straight. Resveratrol switches on special genes that help your cells handle stress better and stay healthy longer. It keeps your blood vessels flexible, which is huge for heart health and also ties back to better testosterone levels. Studies have shown that older men who added red grapes to their diets had more elastic arteries, lower blood pressure, and reported feeling more energetic in day-to-day life. Resveratrol also helps your mitochondria, the tiny engines inside your cells, run smoother. That means steadier energy and muscles that bounce back faster. So how do you do it? Aim for about a cup a day of red or purple grapes, skins on. That's where most of the resveratrol lives. If you enjoy wine, a small glass now and then is fine, but remember the grapes give you all the good stuff without the extra risk. Up next, I want to show you a creamy green fruit that's one of the best allies your hormones have. Most guys overlook it, but it's critical for keeping testosterone steady and your whole body humming. Let's keep going. Ever think your body needs fat to stay manly? Most guys have been told fat is the enemy, but your body actually can't make testosterone without healthy fats. That's where avocados come in. They're one of the best foods out there for giving your hormones exactly what they need. Mike, 65, had gone on a strict low-fat diet to try to help his cholesterol. Instead, he ended up dragging through the day, moody, and his testosterone tests came back on the low side. I got him to add avocados and other healthy fats back in. A few months later, he was back with a grin, telling me it was like someone switched on his lights again. Avocados are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the same type found in olive oil, which your body uses to build testosterone. They also have boron, a mineral linked to boosting free testosterone by up to 25%. Free testosterone is the kind your body actually puts to use. Plus, those healthy fats help you absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. Without enough fat, you could be eating all the right things and still not soaking up those vitamins properly. A study even tracked men who added half an avocado to their meals each day. They didn't just see testosterone numbers move up. They also felt better mentally, had steadier energy, and slept through the night more often. So how do you do it? Eat half to 1 avocado daily. Mash it on toast, add slices to a salad, blend it into a smoothie for creaminess, or just eat it with a little salt and pepper. It's easy, satisfying, and pays off over the long haul. Next, let's talk about a fruit you've probably eaten hundreds of times without realizing how perfectly it's designed to keep your heart, muscles, and energy running smooth. Stick with me. When's the last time you thought of a banana as more than a snack? Most men figure it's just quick fuel, maybe helps with cramps, then move on. But bananas are one of the best foods for steadying your heart, supporting your muscles, and giving you reliable energy all day. Carl, 66, liked hitting the gym a couple times a week, but lately he'd been cutting workouts short. His legs would tighten, or he'd run out of gas halfway through. I suggested he start eating a banana about half an hour before heading out. A month later, he laughed and told me he was adding extra laps on the treadmill. Said he felt strong pushing through again. Bananas are packed with potassium, which keeps your blood pressure in check and helps your muscles fire the way they should. Most older men fall short on potassium, which is why heart flutters and leg cramps become more common. They also carry vitamin B6, which your body uses to make feel-good brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. If you felt cranky or flat, low B6 could be part of it. What makes bananas special is how they give you quick sugars paired with fiber. That means your energy goes up without the sharp crash you'd get from candy or soda. One study even showed men who ate a banana before exercise had better endurance and bounced back faster afterward. So aim for one medium banana daily, ideally with a few brown spots. That's when the natural sugars are most balanced. Try pairing it with a handful of nuts for an easy, powerful snack. Next, I want to show you a group of bright, colorful fruits that are like your body's best insurance policy against aging from the inside out. Let's check that out together. Let me toss out a thought. Have you ever pictured tiny fires quietly burning inside your body, slowly wearing down your blood vessels, muscles, even hormones? That's what chronic inflammation looks like. And berries are some of the best tools you have to put those fires out before they spread. Ron, 73, spent a lifetime building homes, never fussing over what was on his plate. Then his doctor flagged early signs of artery stiffening and inflammation. Ron didn't like the idea of starting more pills, so we kept it simple. I had him rotate strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries through his week. 3 months later, he was back to walking his dog 2 miles every morning, bragging that his labs were better than they'd been in years. Why do berries work so well? They're loaded with antioxidants that go after the tiny bits of wear and tear that age your arteries and slow down testosterone production. Strawberries come packed with vitamin C and fisetin, linked to longer healthy lifespan and sharper thinking. Blackberries have even more anthocyanins than blueberries, making them powerful for your circulation. Raspberries contain ellagic acid, the same compound found in pomegranates, known to support hormone health and even fight off harmful cells. One study followed older men who added berries a few times a week. In just 3 months, their inflammation dropped, their arteries acted younger, their memory improved, and they felt more lively. The surprise bonus? They also held on to more muscle, which is key to staying independent as you age. Here's the easy plan. Aim for 3 servings of berries a week. Maybe strawberries on Monday, blackberries in your yogurt Wednesday, raspberries with oatmeal Friday. Fresh or frozen doesn't matter, frozen often saves you money and still packs the same punch. Keep a few bags in the freezer and you'll always have them handy. Next, I'll pull all of this together into one simple daily routine so you can put it to work without any stress. Let's make it practical. Imagine tomorrow morning opening your fridge and knowing exactly what to grab to help your heart, hormones, and energy, without needing a complicated diet or fancy supplements. That's what I want for you. Just a straightforward routine that slides right into your life. I think of Earl, 69, who once told me all those charts and calorie logs he saw online just overwhelmed him. We mapped out a simple way to work these fruits into his week. 2 months later, he came back saying, "Doc, I'm feeling the best I have in years." His energy stayed solid, his mind was clearer, and he'd even started taking weekend hikes with his neighbor again. Here's how you can do it too. In the morning, stir some berries into oatmeal or yogurt. That gives your arteries and brain a strong start. Mid-morning, peel an orange or slice up a grapefruit. Those citrus fruits help keep blood flowing smoothly and support testosterone. At lunch, add half an avocado to your salad or sandwich. Those healthy fats are critical for making hormones and absorbing vitamins. In the afternoon, enjoy a few cups of watermelon. It keeps your blood vessels open and working right. Then after dinner, sip on a small glass of pomegranate juice or pop a handful of seeds to help your body repair overnight. Work in bananas and red grapes through the week. Grapes keep your arteries flexible and power up your cells. Bananas help your heart and muscles, and keep energy dips at bay. Stock up smart. Buy frozen berries in bulk. Grab pomegranate concentrate if it's more affordable than bottled juice. Buy citrus when it's in season and avocados at different ripeness levels so one's always ready. When you line it up like this, it stops feeling like a big project and just becomes a natural part of your day. Up next, let me close this out with something from the heart, so you walk away feeling clear, hopeful, and ready to take action. You know, after decades of talking to men just like you, I've realized it's rarely just about blood tests or blood pressure numbers. It's about wanting to wake up in the morning and feel like yourself. It's about staying strong enough to enjoy your life, to keep up with grandkids, to hold your partner close and still laugh about old times. I want you to remember something. Age is a number, not a sentence. Your story isn't done yet. The choices you make now still have the power to shape what the next 10, 20, or 30 years look like. I've seen too many men find more life and more joy after 65 than they ever expected. There's a simple saying I like: the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is today. You don't have to overhaul everything. Just start stacking these small, smart choices. Over time, they build a stronger, more energetic, more confident version of you. If this has helped you at all, I'd be grateful if you'd hit subscribe. Maybe even share it with a buddy or a brother who needs to hear it. And if you want to support more practical, down-to-earth health content like this, there's a way to pitch in right below. Every bit helps us keep these messages coming. Take good care of yourself. Keep that spark alive. I'll be right here, ready to walk the next part of the journey with you. Looking forward to it already.